Hey everyone, Cat Calm here. I forgot my last name for a minute.
I was going to say, did you just forget your name?
Just had a seizure. Cat Calm here with Studio Sweat and Studio Sweat On Demand, and I am here with probably one of my favorite people in the whole world. Yeah, it's true. Lil Bethers.
Do you say that at the start of every one of them with everybody? Yes.
No, I don't.
No.
Did Actually,
you say
I don't.
Brian?
I don't.
You had to
I don't know
it.
if I said it with Brian. I'm not sure. Anyhow, I am so excited to have you here as our guest.
Thank you.
Bethany was the first employee, weren't you? No, or was Honer?
No, she's not an employee.
That's true.
I mean,
there is a difference.
Let's be black and white here, people.
Yeah, Bethany was the first employee of Studio Sweat. And Beth.
I still am, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Just had to check.
Yes.
Here.
So you're fired. Just kidding.
After this, you're done.
Yes. Interesting story. So one of the first questions that I want to ask you personally is, or I'd like you to share your Studio Sweat, not your whole journey, but just how it started with the folks watching.
Like from us meeting?
Yeah.
Because we kind of covered that when I had to interview you.
You did? Yeah, but what if they didn't see this?
Well, then that's their fault.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's see. We met in a spin class.
Yeah.
At a big box gym. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name or not.
It's fine.
But so we met in a spin class, and Kat was, I know this is going to come as a shock to all of you. She was running late to the class.
What?
I know. So she actually didn't get a bike. And then the person who was sitting next to me on the bike left like halfway through. And I had seen her trying to get into the class. And so I kind of like flagged her down and I was like, hey, it's open if you want it.
Which was really nice because she didn't know me.
I didn't even know you.
I didn't even live in San Diego at the time. I was visiting.
So I was like, hey, sit here. And so she came in and said thanks. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then we finished the class. And then we went outside of the class and started stretching. And we just kind of started talking. And it kind of went from there. And I think I didn't see you for a couple of weeks because you had gone back up to Washington. Mm-hmm. And then I saw you again like a couple weeks later when you were back in town. And
I just kept reappearing.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's that girl again.
Yeah, yeah.
She's following me. Just kidding.
Oh, wait, it ended up being the other way around though.
So it turned out we kind of sat down and chatted then for a few minutes. And then it turned out she was trying to move here. And she actually almost bought the house next door to me. And I'm so glad you didn't.
Yeah, that would have been awkward.
That would have been a lot of each other.
Yeah.
But so she knew where I lived because I had told her, oh my gosh, you almost bought the house next door to me. And then she came one day on my doorstep after she was already kind of established here and said, hey, I'm going to start this boot camp. I want you to come. And at the time I was a stay-at-home mom. And I looked at the price and said, you can have your flyer back. I can't even afford this.
Yeah. So that was when our kids were little, like kindergarten and younger even.
Yeah. Brookie was still younger.
And
so she said, well, I have an idea. Why don't you help me out with the boot camp? You can do the boot camp for free, but help me with all of the setup and the tear down. And I said, deal.
Yeah, I am in.
And
I will never let money be an issue that people can't join my workouts. Like we'll always figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
And we did.
So we did. And then it's been, you can't ditch me.
I can't ditch you. I know I tried no matter how much.
Nope.
We called her our Bethany, the little puppy, because she used to just everywhere I'd go, you were with me. And it was so fantastic. But so Bethany started off as my administrative assistant and trainer assistant. Mm-hmm. Then she got certified in spin. Then she got her personal training certification.
Which took a long time.
It did, but you did it.
I did it.
And then she was promoted to studio manager, which is a very important role that she plays right now. Yeah, exactly. So that's her journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we ask this question because it's on everyone's mind.
It is?
Yeah, it's an important one.
Oh, I have no idea what it is.
Bethany Cottrell Murray.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my goodness.
How tall are you?
Oh. I am 5'0".
Exactly 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So when Bethany and I are together, everyone assumes that I'm 6 feet tall because who would be, how is there an 8-inch difference? Cat must be 6 feet tall. No, indeed. I am 5'3", actually, I'm only
Are you like 5'7", 5'8"?
I'm about 5'7".
Yeah.
5. It's so funny because everyone thinks I'm taller than everyone. They think I'm like as tall as Rebecca, or nope, I am shorter than Rebecca. I'm shorter than Honer. This isn't about me. I'm making this about me. Anyways,
Let me just tell you, when you're 5 feet tall, life is hard.
yeah,
So hard.
You bring your own stool everywhere.
yeah. Like I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let's pan down. It was BYOS here for the trainer
Bring
talk
your own
today.
stool.
She brought her own stool.
Well, no, I remember when I interviewed you, I was
Yeah.
so uncomfortable because my feet weren't touching the floor and I didn't know how to sit. And now I'm like, I'm taking my stool. Actually, it was my kids.
Wait, you really did bring that?
Yeah, she
I
really
thought it was a
did
joke.
bring that.
No, it's mine. And I'm going to take it home with me.
Yeah, she brought that with
Is
her
that
today.
like
So-
some people take like their coffee everywhere?
Yeah, she takes her stool everywhere she goes.
You never know. Don't worry, guys. I'm prepared. I'm ready to get up on
Yeah.
the
I
shelf.
have my stool.
Okay, in
Always
case you're
It's
wondering.
always with me. All sorts of stools are with me.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay. In case you're wondering where the mystery voice is coming from, that is coming from Jess, our moderator today. And yeah, Jess is amazing and she's so great at this. She's going to be fielding your questions as you send them in. And she also is an amazing Studio Sweat trainer. So if you've not taken a class with Jess yet, you best.
You should.
Let's talk about when height has actually been really,
Sorry, I thought that was on mute.
really, and mine's not either. So,
Sorry.
So let's talk about when height has actually been to your advantage.
Oh.
Your height.
Mine, not yours.
Or lack thereof.
I'm a very good climber. No, but I'm not kidding you.
So
I can
glad
get things out of the top
the
shelf
drink
of the
was
kitchen
not
cabinet
climb.
because
in my mouth
the
yet.
kitchen cabinets,
Like getting out, did you
the
get
grocery
bruises
store.
from climbing
No,
up there?
because I'm good at it.
Oh.
I'm a good climber.
Have you ever seen her do the cheetah, by the way?
Oh yeah, I
You're
killed that.
so good at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cheetah run?
I will never do it again.
What?
Totally hurt.
Why?
Because it hurt.
I'm
my back.
asking you.
So good at it, though.
On the ground?
Yeah.
Like on all fours?
We have a video somewhere.
You can
of
find
that.
it. You'll find
I'm going
it.
to catch you in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm bringing something nice. I'm going to get you to do it.
Isn't it somewhere
I'll
on
never do it
Facebook?
again.
It's on Facebook somewhere, I think.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's out there.
It's findable.
When else, honestly, though, has it been to your advantage?
So, like on the bike, sprinting
Mm-hmm.
is not too hard for me.
Yeah.
Like I can easily go fast because I don't have a long ways to push that pedal down before I can yank it back up.
Yeah, it's true.
Deadlifts are super easy.
We call you the speed demon.
I know I've had to really slow down, like teaching. I remember I think you might've been in a class. I think I had another tall girl in a class and we were all doing deadlifts and they were like, slow down.
Yeah, you're 2 to my 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just because I have nowhere to go.
Yeah. And then what about in athletics? Has it been an advantage in athletics ever?
I don't know. I was a gymnast, so we were all short.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have said there's no advantage there because we're all tiny people.
Well, it's an advantage in that I can't bend the way you bend.
This is true. And
or bounce the way you bounce.
no. And then I played college soccer. I wouldn't have said it was an advantage there. If anything, it's a bit of a disadvantage
Sure, in
because
soccer.
everybody is taller than me, so I had to just be extra tough.
Did you go under their legs ever? Like,
Of course I did.
yeah.
Of course I did.
I bet you did.
Yes.
Gymnastics. Let's go back to that a little bit. Tell me about your gymnastics history.
Oh, let's see. I was in gymnastics. Well, originally my parents put me in soccer, and all I did was stand in the middle of the field on my head. And they said, I think we have her in the wrong sport. She's bored.
Parents,
and
watch for this.
Yes, watch for this. When your child is on their head in the middle of the field, switch sports. So quickly after that, they took me out of soccer because obviously I wanted to go and do something else. And they put me in a gym. And I was pretty much in a gym 5 days a week, every day after school for 4 to 5 hours.
You were good, right?
I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was good.
What was your event? Like,
Oh.
like
Floor and vault.
floor and vault.
Power.
Yeah.
The
I can see that.
graceful beam and bars, not my jam, freaked me out. But if it involved like running full speed at something,
Yeah.
I'm all in.
So not the dancey floor
No.
stuff per se, but more the runs,
tumble.
The tumble. Yeah, I could see you nailing that.
Yeah,
And
that was fun.
I actually feel like I have seen you do that because I see your daughter do that, and she is a powerhouse.
She totally is.
Tumbling, and also her event is
tumbling. Her main event is tumbling, but she does trampoline and it's another trampoline called double mini.
Mm-hmm. Didn't she win some, or what'd she win? Let's. You know what? I will brag on your behalf. I will ask you a question. What did Brookie win?
She will die. She got first in the state in California on trampoline, tumbling, and I think it was second on double mini.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, this state alone is as big as, like 5 states put together.
I know. And she would totally die if she knew I was talking about her.
Yeah. Oh, Cookie Brookie.
I know.
You're so cute.
She is so cute.
She is so cute. And then you are a family that kind of lives their life around athletics.
Just a little bit.
Yes, in some ways. What is the other big sport in your family?
Ice hockey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And where do we live?
Oh, San Diego.
Interesting.
I
find
know.
that so strange.
It's funny because when I tell people my son plays hockey, they are like,
Move to Canada.
roller or ice? Like ice doesn't even kind of come into their mind of
Sure,
it.
in California. But it is big down here, actually.
It actually is.
Yeah,
And it's growing
Yeah.
pretty quickly, actually. There's we have a beautiful site that just got built up in Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 sheets of ice. I mean, it is state of the art.
Wow.
And yes, we drive everywhere.
And Rebecca's family, just Trainer Rebecca, is
Yeah.
the same way, by the way.
Yep.
So we've got a couple of trainers who are super, super into hockey. So,
Yep.
or their families are.
Yep.
So,
It's kind of crazy that there's 2 of us in the same facility.
and Caleb is extremely athletic.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he is 15.
No, he turned 16 yesterday.
Stop it.
I still am like,
You guys don't even know. So when Bethany and I met, our little ones were 4.
Yeah.
And we have known each other ever since then.
I
And
know, it's crazy.
to look back at pictures, and they used to come into the studio all the time, and they just, while we were working, doing our crazy thing, and we did a lot of crazy things back then, but they'd be running on the treadmills and stuff. I have some cute. Anyways, so wow, so 16,
16.
and Brookie is 14, right?
Yeah, soon
Yeah.
to be 15.
Man, my times have changed, man, I'll tell you.
I know. Like to think that I have a freshman and a sophomore in high school. I'm like,
So crazy.
am I old enough? I don't feel like I'm old enough nor mature enough for that.
Definitely not the latter, for sure.
Not one bit.
Okay. So one of the questions Debbie thought that we should ask you, by the way, that's Mayor W. We
I
just
was
call
like
her
Debbie or W?
W.
W.
She thought that would be good to share with those watching your injuries. So especially, if I'm not mistaken, you did have some injuries from gymnastics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. That was kind of what ended my career in high school. I was doing my flight series on the beam. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's when you see the girls doing, it's like they tumble on the beam. They do like the back handspring layout, or back handspring layout. It's pretty cool.
I would break so many bones and things.
I've never really broken a bone. Go figure.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I
You're
was
short and stout and strong.
closer
Yeah,
to the ground.
closer to
so
the ground.
fall
Less
wasn't
of a
as
fall.
bad.
Yeah.
I know. Advantage.
True.
But so
There you
anyways,
go.
I was doing
Circle
my
back.
flight series, and I was at the very end point of it. So I was at the highest point that you could kind of be off the beam. And on my landing, way to go, Jess, I missed the beam. And so I'm coming all the way from up top, ready to put my feet on the beam, and I missed the beam, and I landed flat on my back on the floor. And talk about like adrenaline taking over. I literally kind of like, I laid on the floor and was like, oh, okay, that hurt. And then I got up and I finished my routine. Like, talk about adrenaline and not thinking straight.
Okay, Mary Lou.
I know, right? But like I did. That was what.
Do you even know what I'm talking about with Mary Lou? Did you even see
her vault?
Eric's so
In like
young.
1984?
1984 vault. She was injured.
I wasn't
How old
even
were you in
alive.
84? Oh, God.
In
we're
80,
old.
I don't know.
They weren't even alive.
I was a
yet.
kid. I was
in like
I
fifth
think you're
grade.
younger
yeah.
than I am.
Okay.
Okay.
So
just children.
Just look it up, okay?
Yeah.
Look up Mary
Go
Lou
look it up.
Retton single leg landing
of the vault.
of the
it
vault.
was like amazing.
She was okay. How about Karate
Yeah.
Kid? Have you seen? Okay,
Like wax on,
she
wax
did
off?
that. She was she did this amazing power vault. She's
Yeah.
such a beast, and she landed it basically on one foot because the other was injured. Mary Lou Retton. You.
What's her name?
Oh my God.
Who are these millennials you have working for us? I mean, really.
I am your most favorite millennial
You
ever.
are. You are.
Wheaties box for crying out loud.
I know the hair.
Okay,
I recognize
so
that
You know the hair. Yeah,
Okay, after
she was
won
known
the
for that.
Olympics, I did cut my hair to be like
Did
hers.
you really?
It was horrible.
86. Get out.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of 86, get out. Okay.
86 you.
Okay. All right. So anyways, back to your injuries.
Oh, so that kind of kicked off a lot of my back issues per se. But then I also do have scoliosis. So I'm constantly, I lean this way. So I'm constantly being pulled this way. Like if I bent over, you can actually see like a lump on my back of like muscle that has been built up that like constant works. So I don't know. My back is easily out of whack a lot of the time. So I have to constantly take care of myself.
Did you have a shoulder injury as well? Or no?
Well, I've had surgery on both shoulders.
Why?
Tore the rotator cuff, and because of gymnastics, everything was so loose. So if I sat up and my doctor would pull just straight down on my arm,
Yeah.
it was just so super loose. Like he could fit in his fingers in places he shouldn't be able to. So they fixed the rotator cuff and tightened up all the tissues on both.
Wow. Did you have them done? You didn't have them done at the same time,
No,
did you?
about like a year to a year and a half apart.
When was that? How old were you?
23, 22, 23, 24, somewhere in there.
What made you decide to get the surgery? Because a lot of times it's either physical rehabilitation or surgery. You have to decide.
It was when the daily things couldn't be done anymore. So blow drying my hair, driving my car. At
Yeah.
the time we lived in a back house. So our driveway went the
a
whole length.
bathhouse?
A back house, like a guest house. A bathhouse.
The things we learn.
That's what I heard. I was like,
Really?
I heard bathhouse.
Like a
very
guest house,
experienced.
like a guest house, and we had a really long driveway. So when I left every day, I had to, do one of
casita.
these. Yeah,
A casita.
but it was in South
See,
Florida, so
relatable.
it's not
Got
a
it.
casita.
What? Of course it
Yeah,
should
it's
be a
totally
casita.
Panamanian.
Guest
Yeah.
house. No, it was a guest house. So anyway,
I like casita.
Casita.
I couldn't, pick my arm up to turn around and look behind me, and changing the laundry, blow drying my hair, like just the day in and day outs were not happening.
Okay.
And I was like, this is
Enough.
time. We've done PT, we've done cortisone shots, and
And you think it was those, the issues with your shoulders were from gymnastics mostly?
I think
or?
it didn't help anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
Overuse.
Gymnasts tend to have a lot
Yeah.
of joint issues
Yeah.
for sure. So
And I've had knee surgery, but that was more of a issue in development that didn't go right. So
Oh,
they
okay.
fixed that
okay.
too.
Gotcha.
I'm
So-
like bionic now.
Yeah, you are. How's it work when you walk through? I'm just kidding.
Nothing's in there. They
Metal
didn't add
detector.
anything,
Okay.
no.
So that's quite a bit to deal with. That's more than, I tore my rotator cuff. I did. I got overzealous doing pull-ups and without warming up, which was a huge mistake, I will say.
Yeah.
And I knew it by the next day. I knew I had caused major damage, and I was mad at myself for not warming up the upper body, which is it's a mistake we all make often. And so, first of all, be careful about that. How have you fought through, because I know you experience especially issues with your back. What happens when your back starts bothering you? What happens to your daily routine, which includes working out?
Well, first of all, I get really crabby. Because if you guys ever know pain, it totally makes
Back
you super,
pain. Yeah.
super crabby.
Back
and
pain and mouth pain.
it's the
Those are the
worst.
two
And I
worst.
really try not to bite my kid's head off when I'm in pain, because I know it's me and not them.
Does it work? Does it work,
Their
Caleb?
heads are still on. Yes,
But they've had to be reattached
a few
couple of
times.
Yeah.
Traumatic. I just know that, and I know this isn't for everybody, but I know I've got to get to the chiropractor, because that is the only thing that will help to put me back together. I have tried massage, I have tried stretching and rolling, and those things kind of get me through. But if I am truly out, I've got to go get adjusted.
Got it. That's
Yeah.
that's what works for you.
I have a standing chiropractor appointment.
Keep that mic up to your mouth, please, there, sweetie.
I have a standing chiropractor appointment.
Thank you. Very good. Okay. All right. So of course I have more questions, but I think it'd be a great time here to invite you all to send your questions in. And Jess, if you already have any in,
Now I'm nervous.
I do.
Yeah.
I have a couple.
let's do it.
I think Colorado is really representing. There's a lot of, I know Jennifer Farnsworth, she's Colorado.
Oh, she's super sweet.
Denver Roads, man.
Yeah. And then Becky is also Colorado. So anyways, so now you know where they're from.
Thanks, Colorado.
Yeah. Miss Colorado. Miss Becky would like to know, what is your fitness routine? Like, what is your background and what is it that you do on a daily basis, weekly basis?
Like, what is just my workout schedule?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Everyone wants to know, so you're really going to answer a few
Really?
questions. They
right.
they always want to know what you do, when you do it, how you do it.
all right. Well, I teach.
Who you do it with.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was like in both ears.
Yo, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Harmony.
Aw. All right, so I teach Monday nights. Well, I teach a boot camp Monday morning, and a lot of times I don't do that workout with them.
It's so tough.
It's awesome. Because
She's known for her boot camps, by the way. Like,
know,
of
I don't
all the
understand
classes that you teach, probably because you're not doing it, you're just like, do this, do that, do this.
maybe.
I'm
Although
just
when I
kidding.
have to film it, I
You
totally
do a lot
enjoy
more,
doing
yeah.
the workout, but then I get really jacked up because I have to teach that night. So that's one of the reasons I don't do the boot camp. So I teach a boot camp Monday morning. I don't do it unless I have to. Just kidding. And then I do
Unless
teach,
Mama makes her.
I know. Thanks, Ma.
Mama.
And then I teach spin core on Monday nights. And then if I don't have a personal training session on Tuesday mornings, I try to get to her 9:15 spin sculpt class.
Pretty regularly.
Who's her?
Who's her?
Catherine Calm.
Oh.
That is, by the way, my God-given name, for those of you that didn't know, is Catherine. And about 3 people call me that, and Bethany is one of them.
Yes. Because
So-
you know how like when you yell your mom's name and she never turns and looks at you unless you're like, Catherine. And then Catherine like turns and looks at me like, oh my
I feel
gosh,
like
what?
I would prefer that you call her Catherine. I see that more than just
No,
Cat.
Cat. No,
I want you to
it's-
call her Catherine.
It's Cat unless she is in trouble or I need her attention.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Catherine, listen, Catherine.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Monday. That's Tuesday. I'm
so-
in your class.
Yeah,
if I'm
so-
not in your class, I try to do something, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. You know, scheduling wise,
Life,
it just
yeah.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I teach again on Wednesday morning a spin sculpt class.
And the Tuesday workout is a spin sculpt also. So you're getting, that's a pretty
Yeah.
good back-to-back hit of
Yeah.
muscle work there. Yeah.
So
And cardio.
And then Thursdays, sometimes I will take a day off, and sometimes I will try to just do like a lift if I can. And then I'll think of 5 exercises that I love, and if I have the time, I'll do them 5 times 10 reps each.
Cool.
So
Simple.
you're hitting, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so simple. And then I used to teach a Friday class. I don't teach that anymore.
She misses it. Yeah.
I do.
Jennifer is bringing up her first boot camp she ever tried on demand was one of yours.
Uh-oh.
And she said it was one that apparently the class wasn't counting their reps, so you kept
No.
making them start over.
They were, no, you know what it was? Is they
It's
were,
just
I know
mean.
exactly what class you're talking about because that one has caused so many waves on the comments and Facebook whenever it rolls through. Like people, they'll post like, I did this class, but it was kind of annoying. And I'm like, you guys have no idea what was going on. That was the most chattiest class I've ever had. And the only way I could get them to be quiet
I wasn't in
was
there.
to count their reps and stay focused. Otherwise it was like herding cats.
To make them count their reps?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't hear you guys.
I
gotta
just
keep
did that
going.
yesterday in my class because
It was the
I
chattiest
won't
class
I
I've
won't
ever
name
had.
the people, but they were being chatty in my class yesterday, and I was like, okay, and you guys got the down counts, and I got the up counts.
Yeah. It was a class that I
It
was like,
makes it
come
fun
on, I am
anyways.
filming this class and I
Yeah.
need you guys to focus. And I could not rein them in no matter what I did. And I was like, fine, you're counting your reps. And if I don't hear you counting your reps, you're
Fine.
doing some more.
Oh, funny.
So that's that. Sorry, Jen.
regardless, your boot camps are brutal. Okay,
thank
so Friday.
Friday, sometimes it's a day off. It just depends. Sometimes I'll try to jump in the 9:15. I'm new to not having a set workout on Friday, like teaching a class. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out what to do
I'm
with my
starting
Friday.
to sense that she's not happy about that.
No, it's fine. It's after so many years of teaching it, I'm like, now what do I do on a Friday? So
I thought
sometimes
we were going to change something with that this month.
we'll chat about that later.
Okay.
I will
Sorry,
tell you when I come in,
sidebar.
how many times am I telling you, you ready to work out? I always ask you on your dates. I do.
I know you do.
Atta girl.
Yeah. So Friday, sometimes I'll go for a walk. Sometimes I'll jump into Brooke's class if I can. Sometimes I don't do anything. It just kind of, again, depends on the schedule.
It probably
and the day.
depends on what you did Wednesday and Thursday now.
It does.
'Cause
And
she-
then
Well, no, sorry. I mean Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Saturday I teach again spin core, and then Sunday I am usually in a hockey rink.
Yeah. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and then do you ever work out at home? Do you have any equipment at home?
I do actually. I have a treadmill. I just got a bike not that long ago. We have some weights. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your husband do for a living?
Nothing. I'm just kidding.
Well, technically right now.
He is a pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
What do you want to know?
I mean, that's a really inquisitive.
I love when you ask like an open-ended question and she just fires back a question at you.
She gives you a yes or a no.
I know. I'm like, what do you want to know? I told Brian if Brian logs in, he
is on.
has
So
to
is
ask
AJ.
a yes or no question. Hi, AJ. I miss your silly face.
I miss AJ too.
I do. I almost wrote that on one of the comments
I
when
miss
she
your
posted
silly
a
face.
face. No, I almost said I miss your stupid face, and then I thought
That's so
No one
funny.
will get it.
I
I
better
miss your
not get. I
stupid
better not
face.
write that because
They're
I don't
gonna
want
be like-
people to be like, "Oh, she is mean."
They don't know our humor.
right?
Yeah.
So I just didn't write anything.
That's probably wise.
So I
'cause
just
the comrades
announced it
have
on
been
the
like, "You
Facebook
kick her while
Live
she's
that I
down."
miss your
They would've
stupid
been like-
face.
So AJ,
love.
just so you know, she's gonna be fine. Everyone, AJ's
Yeah.
gonna be fine. She's actually gonna be better than fine. She's gonna be better than she was before.
Well, they got to see her at the live class.
I sure hope so.
I brought her over.
That's great. Just to make sure we
I
didn't
did.
offer.
No, I
came
sure
in-
hope she's going to be better than she was before.
She will. So
She
AJ,
will.
she was experienced all kinds of issues,
Yeah.
weren't you, AJ? But she got that taken care of. She got that stuff rimmed out, and she is going to come back strong.
Yes.
Well, she's already strong. She's probably the strongest
Strongest
person
one,
I
yeah.
know.
Sorry, Brian.
Minus the men.
Yeah, she's gonna be
Oh,
good
goodness.
though. Because I'm sure people are like, "What? What happened to AJ?" I had just Lauren texted me. She's like, "What? I just saw the post on AJ." I'm like, "That was 3 weeks ago." No, I'm just kidding.
They need us. Welcome.
Yeah, so she's gonna be good. She's gonna be better than good.
Next question.
Yeah. Well, this is.
Wow, I guess we're really blowing past the what does Pastor Paul do?
It's Pastor Paul.
He's Pastor Paul.
That's cool.
Tell me about
How
your
long?
husband's. Yeah, tell me about your husband's personality.
Oh, I don't know. What do you want to know? He's pretty goofy. I don't know. We don't take life like super serious at
Why
all.
don't you talk about that last video? Like, just to give them a capsule of like what his
Some perspective.
yeah,
Some
what
Paul,
he's like. The
Pastor
video
Paul perspective.
in the Jeep. All of you with goggles on.
Oh, so it was the middle of summer, and we have a Jeep, like an open air Jeep, no cover,
Old school
no
Jeep.
no
Yep.
doors, no nothing.
Jeep Wrangler.
They're somewhere in the house. Yeah, Jeep Wrangler. And so we are, because it basically sits outside like 24/7, we are in dire need of redoing the inside, because if you know the California sun, it's not kind. It like tears things apart. So tears the interior of the Jeep apart. So we need new seats, we need new flooring, like the whole 9 yards, which is typical of a Jeep. So we've always thought it would be super, super fun and funny to take the Jeep through the car wash, like one of the ones that you see, like the automatic ones. And so
No top.
no. Well, I mean, I had a top on.
They were topless. The Jeep was topless.
The Jeep was topless. I
Yeah.
was not. But so we just decided it would be super fun. So we put on our goggles and drove to the car wash.
And went through the car wash.
Twice.
And videoed it.
And we
Wow.
Did you
through
do it
twice.
twice? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
because the first time one of the video thingies wasn't working.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's a tough video to have to redo.
Oh yeah, I'd be like,
Let
I'm
me
out.
just tell you guys,
That was a one-time
the
thing.
tried
water
it.
in the car wash is
Freezing.
freezing. I thought it was going to be warm. It's really quite chilly.
I don't think your car has a temperature gauge, so it's
I
like,
do.
Is
I
this a normal thing for your family to
Absolutely.
do? Yes.
See, that's what I want them to know. Like your
Yeah.
family is fun and silly.
We are super fun.
You
I
guys
don't
are
know.
super tight knit,
We are.
and your kids are amazing.
Oh, thanks.
They love and respect you, and that's
Well, it's because we beat them.
well, sure. I mean, that's obvious.
By the way, Brian has
keep
tried to
them in
take
line.
over the feed.
Brian. I
Yeah,
already
he
told
gave you a
him-
yes or no question.
I already told him I was going to cut the internet to that room.
He wants to know if he's awesome.
Oh, Brian is so
Oh,
awesome.
Bethany trains Brian, by
I
the
do.
way.
He's
I
the
used to train
awesomest.
Brian, and then I fired myself and said, you know what? Who's the second best trainer I know? I'm just kidding.
It's like one of my
Duh.
favorite days to crash in the studio when you two are
Yes.
training.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
Bethany
have a lot
trains
of fun.
Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Do you want to go again, Jess, or do you want me to go?
There's some good questions.
Do
but,
it. You go.
Okay, so best and hardest part of working at Studio Sweat.
Well, the best part is I don't really feel like I have to schedule my workouts. It's kind of scheduled for me, and it keeps me accountable. Accountable.
It's okay. You could try it again.
This is legit. It's a problem. No, but having that time where I have to teach, we do the workouts here, so it holds me accountable to my workout schedule, which is probably, I mean, one of the best things really. I get paid to work out, like not a bad gig, like let's be honest.
That's such a small part of your job, though.
I know, but I also feel like I get paid to play at the same time because of that. Like, because I love working out. So it's like the best deal ever. What's the best, hardest, what?
Hardest.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I mean, she's in the room.
I'm
but
right
I mean,
right here. No, like you expect a lot out of us, which is totally fine. And that is why all of us work here. That's why we enjoy it. You're demanding, but it works.
It is studio sweat on demand.
But not just that, like in-house, like it's a good product. And it's because of your high expectations that it is a good product. So yeah, is it hard sometimes to work for you? Absolutely. Are there times where I'm like, Cat, stop texting me, leave me alone? Absolutely. But I think anybody is like that with their boss, right?
Well, except for like with Bethany, I'll be like, well, then don't pick up your phone. But she's so dedicated to her job. I had to tell her, you guys, she is so dedicated to her job that I had to tell her, and we had to come up with this deal that on the weekends from Saturday at like noon. Until Monday morning, she didn't need to check her phone. And if it was a dire emergency, I would call her. And I know that means on the phone, but that's different. We usually, because, you know, just like most people these days, we usually text or email or whatever. But that if I really needed you, but you're so dedicated.
Well, I see that email sitting in there and I'm like,
this talks to your personality. Though
I'm like, I'll respond. Sure. But yeah.
How fast did I respond to yours today?
Lightning. I loved it.
A text?
No, an email.
Oh.
But I was sitting there working.
Oh, I was going to say, that's not typical of Jess.
Oh, it is with me, not you.
No.
I screen my emails.
Yeah.
No, but I just feel like if I have the time and I'm on it or I'm sitting there, it's like, why wouldn't I respond?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you are on it. And as much as you think that my expectations are what they are, you have certain expectations too. Like we were just talking yesterday.
Yes, this is true.
And you were like, here's my expectation. This wasn't met. And it's kind of like the apple doesn't fall far, you know, and you have high expectations too.
I do.
And I like it. That's why we work. So, okay. You have another one or you want me to go?
I do, but you go.
Okay.
Maybe sir.
So yeah, I have my little, one piece of advice you would tell 25-year-old Bethany.
Oh, you were hot and you didn't know it. Oh, that's not advice.
Gee, that was your response.
That was my
I thought
response.
you were talking to me.
One piece of advice I would give 25-year-old Bethany. Let's see, I was already married.
Dang it, I was trying to get an age where before.
You got married really young, right?
20?
I did.
Okay, so we could definitely side rail here. So, one piece of advice you'd like looking back. I love this question. It's a tough one though.
Not to be so hard on myself. Yeah, I think so. Because I think at 25 or whatever age it is, at 35, at 19, at 16, like we, I think as women are super hard on ourselves.
So hard. Yeah, for sure.
Whether it be looks or your fitness level, what you're eating, like you just,
your career,
all that
kids,
negative energy and that negative self-talk, stop it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice.
Thanks.
I think that women in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and so anyways, but it's, you know, honestly are so much more attractive in a lot of ways than women in their 20s. And if you're in your 20s, like seriously listen to me.
It's a self-confidence.
It's it's confidence. Women in their 30s are more settled into who they are. They know who they are. And when you're in your 20s, I think you're still often trying to figure it out.
Like Eric, even though I was very
Eric,
married,
you're going to figure it out, buddy. It's okay.
It's okay.
You're going to figure it out.
Still trying to figure it out. But I think like I look back and I've always been so hard on myself and being so short. Like my weight is always an issue for me. And I think, you know, I look back and I see a picture of me when I was 25, 20, 21. And I remember thinking at that time, I am so fat. And then, and I'll look back and I see a picture of myself and I'm like,
I was so
damn, I was hot.
Yeah. Well, you're still hot.
Oh, thanks.
Let me ask you this. And this is a serious question.
Oh, shoot. Is she going to make me cry, Jess?
No, I'm not going to make you cry. It's actually just a numbers question. Because I'm sure that you're not the only one out there that's short that's watching this or being part of this.
I don't do math.
Yeah, it's okay. I think you know the answer to this.
Okay.
Do you know what your maintenance calories are? What in general it would say that you could, how many calories you could eat?
It sucks how low it is. So
I
if
know,
I am,
that's why I
if
asked
I am
you.
like trying to lose weight, I can't even believe I'm discussing this. It's like literally 1,200 calories that I can eat, and I will lose weight on 1,200 calories.
And that's if you're working out a lot
Yes.
too.
And I
Yeah.
know some people are like, oh my God, that is
So
too
low.
So low.
Well, you know,
but
it's-
I'm also I'm a small person.
Yeah. Do you know what your maintenance calories are?
I
I
would
think
say
they're only
anywhere-
like 1,500 or
I would
something.
say 1,300 to 1,400 tops.
That's
I think it's-
Brian's breakfast.
I think it's actually like, you want to get technical? I think it's 1,436.
Yeah, I think
And
that
I'm
sounds about right.
really trying not to focus on numbers, and I'm trying to throw numbers out, which is...
I was just curious though, because it does go to how much you can consume. Like you can't
it
sit
sucks.
next to Brian and eat the same meal.
I mean, sometimes we do.
Do you
but-
notice
Yeah.
ever if you eat more frequent, like every 3 hours, you're eating something and keeping your do you notice the difference, or do you do like
no,
breakfast,
because I
lunch,
do that
dinner?
anyways, because I have always been I'm a very structured kind of a
Do
girl.
you have a little box of nuts?
Shut up, you know about my
her little
box of
tiny,
Tiny thing.
Tupperware.
I'm always like, what is that? Your warm up?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that is my only snack I get. No, but I always have like breakfast right at the same time. I have a snack at
Yeah.
the same time. I have my lunch at the same time, and then an afternoon snack, and then dinner. And then if I have it in my if I'm being strict and I'm tracking my calories, maybe a snack after dinner. But
Yeah, so you don't get a lot of leeway when it comes to
I get
your
none.
diet. Like you've so, are you okay if we talk about that?
I don't care.
Yeah, let's talk about so. When you've gone through these periods when you've been like, no, I need to lose weight.
I'm in that right now.
Okay, tell me about it. Like, tell me why. Tell me what you're doing.
Well, I enjoyed the holidays very much so. And life is super stressful right now, but it's funny because I've looked back at old videos and I can see my weight fluctuating in classes, and I'm just like, okay, that's just life.
We do.
you know?
We literally have footage of our lives over the last 10 years. Exactly.
It's kind of weird. I don't think most people get that the way that we've gotten it.
Not like, I mean, we look at vlogs and I'm like, oh, that must have been about 5 years ago. And yeah. When we were doing the triathlon trainings a lot, we were so
that
skinny.
photo that's by on the back wall.
We were
by
so
the board.
thin, yeah.
I was like, that
You
girl's
have
like
a photo
12.
of me in your house?
I do.
Oh.
You made the wall.
I'm gonna.
That's
start
what we
putting
call
up
it.
Photos of me everywhere in this room.
Yeah. If we'll tell people you made the wall.
April Fool's is coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in every photo.
I'll show it
Brian,
to you after.
you're gonna have to let us in the back door. Okay?
Brian, we gotta.
Yeah.
We gotta.
gotta
do,
plan.
Brian.
But seriously, it's a tough struggle, and it's a struggle that is real, and I know it's one that in certain people, genetics does come into play with some of it. I mean, if you're 5 feet tall and you got a certain type of build, you're going to struggle. You're likely going to struggle more with your weight.
So genetics plays a huge, huge, thing to it. I'm 5 feet. My dad's side of the women's build, they call it like the butler body because they've all got these big hips and legs, and we all have boobs. I mean, it's just like I had boobs at like 4. I mean, it was just like that's
at least you have
the
boobs
way
to
it
balance
was.
it out. So
Yeah. So I mean, literally, I've always had like a women's body. I am super curvy, even though I'm, super tiny, but the curves can get bigger or they can get smaller. And it really just depends on how strict I'm being with my food. And I literally feel like my entire life I've been on a diet. And sometimes I just want to say like, screw this. I'm so tired of being on a diet. And that's when you'll see my weight start to fluctuate and go up. And then it's like, I got to rein it back in. And I always tell myself, I'm not going to go above this certain weight. But when you've been on a diet, like your whole entire life as a gymnast, as this, you're supposed to be tiny. It's like, there's days I'm just like.
So now
screw
you're
it.
not so focused on the numbers.
I'm really trying to, I've been talking with Miriam quite a bit. I've been reading a couple of really good books about intuitive eating, not counting the numbers. And it's super hard for me because I am such a numbers person.
Right.
Like there was a whole week I was like, I'm not tracking anything. I'm not wearing my heart rate monitor. I kind of know what I'm at and what I burn in a class.
Sometimes I think it's good to take a break like that.
So I'm trying not to be as strict and not counting out my 12 freaking almonds that I get as a snack. It's 12. It's 12.
Most
Hey,
the
at least
average
it's an even
person
number.
gets
Thank
20.
Yeah.
Just seriously for
like a serving of
reference
almonds is 24.
That's
so
what
I
I'm
would do
saying,
half
20
and
to
half.
24, but because you're so tiny.
Yeah. So it's just trying not to be so strict down to counting out my freaking almonds. It's kind of fun, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I need to
hard.
It's hard. It's mentally hard. Like I texted Miriam, I'm like, this is mental gymnastics for me. Like not counting numbers, not tracking everything.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of know, because I don't vary too much in my food day to day. Like I kind of know where I'm at.
Yeah, which is good.
But not tracking, like, so then I'm not tracking like the fun snacks that I steal, right? That's like totally jacked up. But
Miriam would,
I had no idea.
She would slap you if she
Yeah,
heard
I know.
you say
She
that.
would.
She has certain
I know.
trigger words that are not acceptable.
Yeah.
So, and steal, cheat.
yeah,
Nope.
nope, those don't exist. So I'm trying to learn that, and I'm really trying to like go with that. But it's hard.
Yeah.
Like I went out the other day and bought a size jeans up because I was like, okay, these are just not comfortable. I need to go up a size.
You know, I did that. I will tell you, and people probably wouldn't guess that with me, but like seriously, just because of my build, look, it's a real challenge for all of us women. So don't think, like whenever anyone's like, oh, you're so lucky. I'm like, lucky? Like I've worked out every day, including when I was through 3 pregnancies. And if you look at my family genetics, you've met my family.
Yep.
Are they small people?
No, not one bit.
Not one bit.
No.
Nope. But I consistently work out.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame,
Well, people
saw
tell me
that.
all the
Yeah.
time, oh my gosh, you're so lucky that you're a trainer and you work out for a living. You
No,
must
we
be able
don't.
to eat whatever you want.
Yeah, we
And
don't
I'm
work
like,
out for a living. You do
No.
get paid for doing some of your workouts,
Yeah.
which is nice, but we do
Yeah.
not. We definitely don't work out for a living. But
A lot of people are really relating to you.
Yeah.
I had so many people are wondering, or they get on the scale themselves every day. And I know you've asked me as I've been losing weight, do you weigh yourself? What is my answer always?
No,
No.
she doesn't weigh herself. I have 2 scales in my bathroom.
That was a question. Do you
Now
weigh
don't,
yourself every
don't
day?
get worried about me. One of them is not mine.
One's digital and one's like,
Yeah. I have the doctor's office one,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I have the digital, and then I have the body fat one. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. But
not lying.
no, shut up. You haven't even been in my house. I have not weighed in a long time. Although based on like how I look, I probably could tell you my weight. without weighing in. I know.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting on the scale.
Well, and clothes, like it's,
Yes.
I know it's like, oh my gosh, so cliche, but it's how your clothes fit. But I will tell you back to what I started to say, and maybe this will bring you some comfort. And even at my build, I fought that too. I was like, no, I'm not going to go up a size. But here's the thing, like I'm pretty happy with how I look and I'm pretty happy with my life. And it's the pounds difference. I do weigh myself once in a while. I will go 3 months, 6 months, I think 9 months sometimes without weighing myself. But sometimes I'll weigh myself once a week. Like it's just super random for me. I don't have like a set schedule. But I just made the decision like, look, your body shifts as
Big
your
time.
life shifts, as you have children, as you age, as you work out and your workouts are different, your butt might be bigger because you finally have one from doing squats, for
Right.
example. And so I made the decision, and it was a little bit hard, but I was super happy that I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna actually go up a side and I'm gonna own it. And you know what I loved is like all my clothes started looking better on me once I made that decision, because I wasn't trying to like squeeze into jeans from my mid-20s.
Right.
And that were like, oh, wow. Even if you have like 2% body fat, it's like,
Yeah.
like,
what is this?
yeah, hanging over. So I was happy personally with that decision.
Well, it's funny for me because if I am tracking my food, I am weighing in and
Yeah.
I'm tracking that too. And it is like, I don't want to say it's like an obsessive compulsive thing, but it can get to that. Jessica's like, yes, it is. But so I'm just trying to be more relaxed, make good food choices. And
You're
just
acknowledging it.
kinda
Yeah.
go with that.
That's
yeah.
It's part of the process.
And it's hard because I'm not happy with how I look right now, but I'm trying to, like I had a client this morning. She knows I'm like off this numbers thing. And she is also an accountant. And so she is totally a numbers thing. And so she asked me, she's like,
a lot of people are.
she's like, how's that non-numbers thing going for you? And I'm like, it's freaking hard because it's it's so much easier for me to grab my phone and track my meals and know exactly what I've intaken and I've weighed my food and I've done this. But it's like to not do that is hard.
Oh, sure.
Have you ever just not done it and then seen if the results change?
This is the longest.
I mean, like-
this is the longest I've tried it.
Okay.
And Miriam and I love Miriam, and we respect each other. Like, and we respectfully disagree on certain things, and that's good. We have a very good relationship that way. But see, for me, I feel like, and I don't know that she would completely disagree with this, but I feel like a check-in occasionally is a good thing. And so that's what I tell my clients, in my opinion, based on my experience. A check-in is not a bad thing, where you're, especially if you've never food journaled before and you have no idea if you're even consuming or if you're consuming even close to what you should. And it can be less or it can be more. Some people undereat, and then they deal with the whole like, that's not, well, you don't undereat for your stature. But so I personally feel like food journaling for those people is not a bad thing. Now, I don't think you should obsess over it. So like generally I'll say, why don't you try, food journaling every other day? Or why don't you just maybe try food journaling like 3 days or something like that?
And see, for me, like with that tact, those 3 days or whatever that I would food journal would be like the cleanest 3 days of my week, because I'd be like, I can't eat that. I'm not writing that in there. But then it's like the other days I'd be like, free for all. Yeah.
So that's your personality. Totally. And so that's why I think it's really personality dependent as well. It's not a one size fits all, right? So that sounds like that's been your experience too.
Super fun.
Good times. That goes to the pressure that we put on ourselves.
Yep.
What other questions are coming in, Jess?
So back to more of a cycling question.
Okay.
Speed demon.
Yeah. Well, kind of, because you are probably the queen of this.
You know what is so funny is so many people say that, but I went back and I looked at a couple of the latest classes that I filmed, because
not very fast cadence.
No. And they're like, God, I couldn't even keep up with her. And I'm thinking the fastest song was like 95.
That's pretty fast though. Like for
really?
Well, I know that people commented on mine that it was fast for me, which it was, but I think it's just because I've gotten in better shape, so I can actually do it now.
Good job.
Yeah.
Atta girl. Atta girl.
Yeah.
We'll have to do one of our next. Go back to speed. Go ahead. Yeah.
Wants to know the best way to build speed, and what do you think the benefits of building your speed?
I don't know if speed is so much like a speed thing as it is a stamina thing, like going back to what you just said. Endurance. I don't know. So when I first started spinning, which has been
almost 10 years.
Okay, so I was probably...
Well, you were spinning when I met you, but you've been with Studio Sweat 10 years, so...
So I was probably spinning for 3 or 4 years before I started teaching. Mm-hmm. And so I remember like the first time... Okay, you guys, the first time I took a class, it was pretty funny. I'll tell you the story. So I used to walk by the spin room every day at the gym.
Sound familiar?
Yeah. I would literally...
I might go in there.
It was all, glass, I could see everybody, and I would walk by and I'd be like, man, those people are in such good shape. I wish I could get back to that. I had just had 2 babies.
I thought it was like intimidating. You were like, I can't go in there.
So intimidated.
Don't cross that threshold.
No.
So many people out there can totally relate
I
with you
was
there.
super out of shape. I just had 2 babies. I would walk by and I'd be like, man, those people have the best butts in the gym. And I would just be like, I don't qualify.
And I'm looking at them.
Yeah. And I'm like, I do not qualify to go into that room yet. So I remember the first time I was like, I'm going in. And I looked at the class times, and I went into the class with 15 minutes left. Right? I would be like, what is that girl doing?
So you joined 45 minutes in.
Yep. I joined 45 minutes in.
I would die laughing if someone did that at Studio Sweat. If they walked in, I'd be like,
too.
Good luck.
And thank you for your donation.
Yes.
For 15 minutes.
No, right? Totally. I agree.
Hey,
but
it's better than nothing.
I'm like, I'm going to go in and try it.
That's pretty
I'm
smart,
sneak
though.
back in for the last 15 minutes of class and see if I can even
Tina Campbell, if you're
it.
watching this, because you're going to be writing that vlog on ideas to get first timers in.
There you go.
People that are intimidated. I think that might be like a good little trick. Like slip in the last 15 minutes.
No pressure.
Right. And so I left with everybody, and
it's way better than walking out, right? Because then you look like
everyone like looks at you when you walk out early, but when you show up like with 15 minutes left and you grab a bike, and from that moment on, I was like, this is awesome.
This is awesome.
Like the instructor was fun, the music was awesome, and I just remember thinking,
was it at that big box gym?
Yeah.
It wasn't the T World instructor, was it?
No.
That's the one we took the first time. And I remember walking out and Bethany and I were stretching together. And I finally was like excited I got into this class. I think she played a CD, first of all.
Yeah.
And then Bethany told me she played the same CD like every class. Day. And it was harder because you did have CDs back then. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't use a CD. But anyways,
so that was my first spin class.
Yeah. I just remember telling Bethany, I'm like, was that how the classes are here? Because I thought that sucked.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, no, that was a pretty sucky one.
Yeah.
But yours was good. Do you remember who your instructor was?
I do.
Who was it?
A girl named Kelly.
Oh, she's crazy. Kelly.
She is crazy Kelly. Yeah. I'm not sure if she's here anymore.
Yeah.
But
I always heard good things about her, except for that she was crazy.
That was my first class, 15 minutes, and I was hooked.
That's
and
awesome.
I remember thinking, going back to like the standing thing and the
we never really
thing.
answered
because they want to
question.
know how you maintain 100. I mean, just say, hey, they got a good beat.
Well, obviously, if you have a cadence monitor at home, you're not maintaining 100 every single pedal stroke. You're going to fluctuate. Shut up. You're going to fluctuate here and there like a tiny bit. You're going to fluctuate. Like there's times I look down and I'm at 98 when I'm supposed to be at 100. Like there's a little fluctuation that happens. I just literally, I stare at my cadence monitor, and if I drop, I try to get it back. If I'm over, I try to slow it down. Literally. But I don't know.
More wine.
Just kidding. This is water.
Dude, we should have had a glass of wine.
No.
It's in the afternoon. We never do these.
Let me go teach at 6 after a glass.
Yeah. I will tell you, one time in my entire life did I drink before I went and did a training session.
I did one time.
I've one time done it.
We've all done it.
It was margaritas.
One time. And then
one time for a reason.
Weights up here, and I was like, oh, my teeth. That's all I kept thinking. My teeth.
My teeth. Yeah. No, I had margaritas in the middle of the summer at the pool, and I had to go teach.
Were you with Rebecca?
No.
Oh.
No.
That's funny. That tells you, like, why even try it? Like, you're going to do it one time if you're an instructor.
I had one margarita, and I was like, this
one margarita knocks you on your butt. Speaking of that, remember when you flipped over in your chair when we were having dinner that one time?
Oh, no.
She did. This is true. This is a true story.
Yep. I tipped over backwards in a chair at a restaurant.
You didn't take your stool with you?
I didn't have my stool with me.
No. We were at a Mexican restaurant, and it was me and Brian and Bethany's husband, Paul. And we were sitting there having a nice dinner, and it was light outside, I remember, because so it was probably summer. And we were just sitting there chatting, having a good time. And then out of nowhere, Bethany literally...
It's like there was an eject button on my chair.
What did you do?
Flips backwards.
I flipped backwards.
But were you like tipping your chair?
Nope. Can you imagine? Like we were all like, "What the?"
They're like, "Where did Bethany go?
Hello?
Why are you down there?"
It was the strangest dang thing. And then she's lying on her back, like, and we're all standing over her, like, dude,
heck.
And we're like, why did you do that?
Because a bug came and landed right on my chest, and I was like, I pushed back from the table, and the chair had like this like tiny
put it by
base.
your mouth. Put it by your mouth.
Oh, the chair had this tiny base, and I was out of there.
Yeah, she ran from that bug.
I don't care what.
It was
on the floor.
It was your gymnastics experience all over again.
I'm like,
you backhand springed out of your chair.
Pretty much.
Cool.
I'm telling you, bugs. Do you remember what the bug did to my eye not that long ago? Remember, I put it on Facebook and I said, guess I showed my black eye.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you've got 3 choices to figure out
right,
like
I remember that.
what happened. And I said, I got in a bad ping pong accident. And the second one was
pickleball or something. Brian hit you.
Animal.
I don't know.
Yeah, Brian beat me.
Brian hit you.
And now ask Kat if she ever looks at her phone in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And so what had happened, I can get the bug thing, and I believe you, even though we told you we didn't believe you, and
I don't care.
We were like,
saw
what
it.
happened? But for me, what happened was there was an Amber Alert, and in the middle of the night, and my phone just started going off, and so and there were fires in the area at the time. So when an Amber Alert goes off in the middle of the night in an area where there's fires going on, you look at it. So I grabbed my phone, and I'm looking at it like this close, right? And this bug comes zooming in, boom, lands on my screen. And I'm like, Bethany, I don't do bugs. No. Okay, that's why I moved to San Diego, I swear to you. And so it lands on there, and then I throw it, like I flip out just like she did. And I looked over at Brian, and I'm like, turn on the light. Like, I think I'm bleeding. And sure enough, like a stream of blood was like going down my face, and I ended up having a black eye. So bugs, no. I couldn't live in the South. So I couldn't do it. That'd be really hard for me. Okay. Anyways, Speed Demon. I still feel like we didn't answer this question, and so I can.
How do you build speed?
I think
I can give you a couple tips too.
It.
Practice makes perfect.
When you
Perfect
Jinx,
practice.
you want me to
makes
go?
When it
perfect.
isn't Coke. How old are you?
Younger than you.
Yeah, truth. Not much.
I think, okay, practice.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people when they're coming to my class and they're brand new and they've never done spin before, I tell them you will feel like uncoordinated. You'll feel unathletic until you kind of get where you should stand. And like literally just practicing it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's the number one thing. It's time. Just give yourself time. And I always tell people, if you have to, and we've got vlogs on this that you and I have done together. If you have to pick between speed and resistance, then we always recommend resistance. That's where you're going to get the most gains. But speed is fun.
It is fun.
One of the things that I've really found is helpful is really mentally thinking about the speed you're turning over the pedals. So it's almost like your churn rate, if you will. And so how quickly you can take that heel and then set the toe down. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. So the thing that I found is really helpful about that is you're focusing on your revolutions, right? And consistency. And the other thing too is I think a good drill is where you're focusing on the left side for about 30 seconds. Then you focus on the right side for only 30 seconds. And then when you go to put them together, all of a sudden you'll find like a speed pickup. So that's a good drill to do as well. We don't do those in class, but I think it's a good one to do on your own sometimes.
I think too, I'm a fast sprinter also.
Yeah.
So for me, it's easy to sprint it out on the bike because I'm a fast sprinter on the floor. So for me, it just easily kind of translates over.
Sure. But if it isn't easy for you and you do have longer limbs, try that drill. And really, again, just think about turnover. Like, what does Kat mean by that? Get on the bike and think about turnover. How quickly can you turn over those pedals? So just see if that helps you. I know it helps a lot of people. So, okay. You got another one? We're down to 7 minutes.
I would say we're almost wrapped up. Everything else I think is more similar questions.
Okay. I have more. And just feel free, everybody, if you have more that you want to chime in with. Okay. I think this one came from W. What is one of the most valuable pieces of advice you have learned from working with Kat?
Nope. That came from me.
That was Jess, like I said.
Totally. Same person.
W.
I remember when I first got my personal training certification and I was looking to pick up clients. I remember you telling me, try to really focus on working at one place, whether that be Studio Sweat or that be somewhere else, but trying to have your clients all under one roof, kind of time banking your schedule so that you're not running home, running back for this client, running to that next place for that client, running to that place for that client, running back here, running back home. Oh, and then you're out again for that next client at the next gym.
Yep.
And I remember when you told me that, I kind of thought, okay, whatever. But then I watched like a couple different instructors that we've had who teach at Studio Sweat. They also teach somewhere else. They teach here. They have a personal training client all the way over in Encinitas, and then they're coming back to Rancho Bernardo. And I remember like watching them going, ugh, I would not like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But having
lives are chaotic that way.
Kind of all your eggs in one. I know that you're not supposed to put all your eggs in one basket, but
no,
in
I know
a sense,
what you. Yeah.
Just so that you're not running around. I feel like we run around with our heads cut off as it is, just between work, family, kids, and then it's like you add in, I work at 4 different places, and they're all across town from each other.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's easier actually to just pick up another client, and then you start to build a reputation, and in a good way if you're a good trainer like you are, and so that's cool.
Yeah. But I remember that was in Big Red in my driveway.
Oh, that's my Expedition, which I still have. I can't get rid of.
I was like, Big Red.
Big Red. Every good car I own has a name, and so right now I have Stormy.
Okay, I make fun of Brandon for naming his cars.
Oh,
you're one.
I'm one that names my cars.
I don't name my cars either. I
Me
make
either.
fun of the people that do.
Whatever. You called it Big Red, didn't you? Stuck with you.
Yeah.
Everyone at Studio
Brian
Sweat
had
calls
Betty
it Big
White.
Red. And Brian had Betty White, which was this old white Ford Fusion. Eric drives it now. I
wondered. I saw that out front, and I was like,
Eric is driving. So you've got it. That's your car's
Betty
name.
White.
Betty White. Betty White.
You know,
that's what
do
we
you have to
call
give
it.
her Snickers so she stays happy?
called it White Angel, so that's what
White Angel.
Angel.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cute. That's
Betty-
much cuter, but
that's
we're
Betty
going to
White.
call it Betty White,
You
just
could
so
call
you know.
Betty White that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know another piece of advice that I gave you that worked and that you liked it. You didn't like it at first. It was kind of similar. It was, and
seems to
I
be a
just
pattern.
think, yeah, didn't like it at first, but then you learned that my ways are the right way. No, I'm just kidding.
I was waiting for
No,
that.
right? No, I want to bring this one up just because it talks to communication, and I think that this is one that's good to share with the people. So if you remember, like because Bethany is the studio manager, one of our number one jobs is customer relations, right? And so sometimes when there's an issue with a customer or a staff member, but let's just talk about customers. That's tough. It's hard to deal with customers, and they're not always easy to deal with.
Or are they not always happy?
Yeah, exactly. No matter what you do, you can't please everyone, right? And so a lot of times she would be like, Kat, can you please? And I was just like, nope. Mm-hmm. And so she used email a lot. And I told her, Bethany, I get it, but pick up the phone. Mm-hmm. Because when you call someone, and Jess knows this too, I'll be like, just call me. Like, right here. I got you. Like, call me. Because you can communicate with someone so much better over the phone. And if you have do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
That's all you're going to say? You're going to sit there and stare at me?
Mm-hmm. That's a Bethany.
That's totally what I do.
That's totally a Bethany look.
No,
I can feel it from across the gym, that look.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a good one. So yes, that one, pick up the phone, call people. It nips it in the bud so much faster. The problem is then gone. And then you have the
Less
emotion.
communication
Well,
breakdown.
and the emotion from me and from them is then on the table.
Yeah.
And it's not me thinking this is what that person is saying via email.
Right.
It's funny because when I've thought somebody has been mad at me via email,
Mm-hmm.
I pick up the phone and I call them, which I hate to do, but she makes me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realize they're not as mad as I thought they were. It's really not as big of a deal as I thought they were. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, thank you so much for calling me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Anytime.
Everyone feels better, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why I like picking up the phone and anytime there's discord or contention or I don't know. So that's cool. Okay.
You know what your other good piece of advice was for me? And this goes all the way back to Studio One.
Uh-oh.
I have RBF.
She does.
I have it bad. Brookie has it bad too. And at Studio One, like a lot of the times people would think I was like really mad because my face would just be not showing emotion. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be happy. I would just be like walking through the studio and people would be like, oh my gosh, watch out.
She doesn't like
Watch
me.
out. She's so mad. She hates me.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me, you have that. And I knew I had it. It's like a
Did
disease.
she tell you to smile?
Yeah. And so I am always like so much more aware now of like when people come into the studio, I need to smile at them. Even if I say like, hey, what's up? Which like to you, I would totally be like, hey, what's up? And I wouldn't even like
Sup?
look away
Nothing.
and I wouldn't even smile.
And then what? I jump in there and I'm like,
Hey, but like, I know that's my facial expression. My
Yeah.
mom had it. Brookie has it. I
Yeah.
have it. And
Yeah.
so I just need, like you told me, like, be more aware of like your facial expressions, which isn't a bad thing.
Check out your face.
Your face is mean.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, because though
I
Jess
really
knows
realized
you.
I had to smile.
Yeah, because Jess knows your personality. She knows
Yeah.
not to take it personally, but any customers walking through the door, they're not going to know that that's just how your face is.
That's just your face. That's just your mean face.
Because Bethany's a really nice person. We do share a heart, which is
We do.
nice, but you know.
And I have a dry sense of humor, so sometimes
Yes.
like even when I'm talking, I'm being very silly, but I'm not smiling and I'm very serious.
Yeah.
your delivery is on point.
It is on
Thank you.
point. Yeah,
we
you're
have-
very witty.
A great question.
Last
Because
question.
I'm curious about it.
Oh. Is this for you or for them?
No, I'm going to read it, okay?
She's pretending she's reading it. Yeah. There's the screen is blank.
Okay.
So and so in.
Yeah. Okay.
Chattanooga.
Yeah. No. Okay. Your favorite spin sculpt, on and off multiple times, spin sculpt, all spin, all spin, then sculpt at the end.
Mm-hmm.
What do you prefer?
Format of spin sculpt. What's your favorite spin sculpt format?
Do you want to hop off, Hana?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I used to do every
She
single
is
class.
hard to get a straight answer out of it.
Joke,
know,
man.
right?
Hold on, I got a story for you.
Hold on, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Step into my office.
I used to do every spin sculpt class. We were off the bike 3 times. And then I had people who were like, I don't want to get off the bike 3 times. Can we only get off 2? I'm like, okay, fine. So then my most recent classes are all just 2 times off the bike to appease the people in the room. And then every once in a while, I like to go kind of half and half. I don't care.
My favorite is to mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes we'll do 3, sometimes we'll do 2, sometimes we'll do a big one chunk and we're done with it.
On off, on off, on off. Like I like those too.
Those are fun too.
Like
I guess I
like
don't have a preference. I don't really care as long as we're working out and we're all having fun and we're hitting all of the major muscle groups that I've been instructed to hit.
That's right.
Nose to your toes.
That's right.
Yep.
So my instructors are given guidelines.
Yeah.
So the studio sweat instructors are given guidelines for each class they teach. But within those guidelines, I really like them to have liberties. And so there's certain things like you must hit every major muscle group at the equivalent of 12 reps, 3 sets. So, but if you're using extra heavy weight, then the equivalent changes. Now you're doing 8 reps. So they're just given those general guidelines, and within the framework of those, they can build the house however they want. That's how.
And it's funny because whenever I'm writing a new sculpt set or boot camp or whatever it might be, I will still write at the top of my sheet,
shoulders, chest, back.
That's the wrong order.
I know.
And
Chest,
do you check
thighs,
it off?
back, by shoulders, core, glutes. Yes, I check it off, and I go through and I go, okay, that has that, that has that.
I just read it off and then.
And that's why you're such a great trainer, Bethany.
Aw,
That's why
thanks.
you're so good.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we're 3 minutes over, so thanks for hanging in there with us. Yeah, mic drop.
out.
Bye.
Drop the mic. Peace out.
Thanks for joining, but bye.
Have a great day.
Gotta get my
See ya.
12 nuts.
I gotta go to the gym.
No, but really, I do.
You really do.
No,
have to
you
go teach
do.
a class.
I have to go to a different gym.
I will tell
Aw.
you, by the way. Okay, can I tell one other thing real quick?
Okay.
So we were, Eric and I were watching Fred the other night. Film
what?
Fred,
Oh.
Trainer Fred.
Oh, I thought
film
you
a
said
class the
Friends.
other night, and
I'm like, why are you and Eric hanging out watching Friends? That's weird.
And I was like, cool.
It's what we do, right, buddy? Because every generation likes Friends, right?
Do you even know what Friends are?
Yeah.
Jade does. Jade has a shirt.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, you are a
Everybody-
millennial. And you were born
Jennifer
in
is,
Aniston.
85.
actually.
Brandon's cheat. If he had, it'd be Jennifer Aniston. That's
Yeah.
Brandon's pass.
Oh my
she's
gosh,
beautiful.
how do you guys feel about like the arm touch from the other night with Brad Pitt
I
and
was like,
Jennifer Aniston?
maybe they should just get married again.
Yeah,
And
I
did you
know.
see him
Like
watching
they
her
had, like,
get
the cool-
he
award?
did.
Oh.
Okay, wow, this
Sorry.
could really go. The comments are flooding in. I'm just
Don't worry, the numbers are going up, so clearly we're
I'm about Jennifer. Okay,
We're
raise
on
your
a good tune here.
everyone
Keep
watching. Raise your hand if you're in support of Jennifer and.
going. I kind of am.
I mean, I know
Even
it's kind
though-
of like a
me
naughty
too.
thing, but
Even
it's
though
like
he crushed her.
crushed.
Yeah.
Oh, like, here's your heart.
But then you see them and they just have that
I know.
dynamic between them, and you're like, it's
Brad,
it's palpable.
It's
you're like,
it is. I know. So
you wanna
Brad,
scoop it out. That
I know you're
lust,
you're
yeah.
listening. And
You're listening.
I know I'm your one.
Brad Pitt.
I am.
Well,
I mean, I did watch Ocean's 11 last night.
It's probably not going to happen, but
you know
I
what
don't
I'm
know,
saying?
maybe. So, anyways,
Sorry,
if
Brad.
you're listening, we're willing to forgive you if Jennifer is.
Okay, so what were you going to say before that?
Oh,
Now
Wait, but that was really
She
funny.
doesn't even remember now.
This is like a novela.
we were watching Fred. Yes. Brian said, "I am."
Did you
right
just leave
here."
a note?
Our
Okay.
producer stepped in.
Well, I'll tell you, if Pink steps through the door,
Ew.
babe,
Brian.
yeah, Pink is Brian's one.
Brian.
Yeah, so now you know the things that you're learning in these extra 5
Wow.
minutes. They are valuable.
Hold on to them.
Hold on to those.
These are nuggets.
Yeah,
These
we were
trinkets.
watching. We were watching.
Talking. Go.
We were watching Fred, and okay, back to Fred's filming. Okay, from laughing so much.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him. So typically, what we do when we're teaching a spin core class is, especially when we're filming for Studio Sweat on Demand, because of limited space and stuff like that, we do all the spin up front, then we do the core at the end, and then we did the stretch. Well, I either didn't tell Fred that exact order, but so he did the ride and it was awesome, coming soon to a living room near you. And he stretched them out right after the ride, and then he did the core. It was so good. Wasn't it, Eric? It was so good.
Different.
And you know what? I was just like, I'm glad that worked out great. And he did these like leg swings to open up the hips right afterwards. And that made the core even better. And I don't know. So
I kind of thought you were going to talk about how great I was to finish it up.
I was. You and Fred are super similar though, like in
Well,
most
honestly,
ways.
because like
Totally kidding.
they thought you had to be tiny to do the speed demon thing, but Fred is opposite. He's a tall dude, so
Yeah.
you know
You know
they're
what's
saying,
funny?
Oh, no excuses, got to do it.
That's right. And you
Pretty
know, a
much.
lot of people think that Fred is like super duper buff, and like he's
really
actually
lean.
he's really lean.
Yeah.
He's slight.
How tall is he?
He's probably 6'3".
No, that's Brant. He's not that tall.
He's pretty dang tall.
I'd
isn't
say
he?
6'2".
6'2". No, he's
You
at
just
least.
sounded like you're from like Missouri or somewhere, no, like maybe Wisconsin.
Happens.
You've been hanging out with Tina.
I pick up on
Wisconsin.
accents.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Wisconsin. I have a very sympathetic ear, if you guys know what that is. It's gotten me in trouble
We do.
sometimes. Yeah. I think. Don't you think, Eric? He's like 6'1" or 6'2".
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
Fred, if you're listening,
Fred, how tall are you?
ask Mei Ling. Him and Mei Ling chat a lot.
Oh, I think
Mei
he's
Ling, do you know how tall he is?
okay. Well, okay, just put in your guesses. How tall is Fred? But he is not like as big as he looks. Super buff on the bike, but he's and
But his
he's
muscles are, like,
very.
perfectly
He's like a
round.
boxer.
Yeah,
He's got a boxer's build, like a light
jiu-jitsu kinda
medium
too.
weight
Welterweight?
medium weight boxer. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it is now
I haven't met him
5:08.
yet.
Look at
And
Bethany. She's like
Brad and Jen
so
are getting back together
with
and
Bethany's blessing.
Fred's class is coming soon, so we've gotten some really interesting stuff in. I thought we were going to be like done at like 5:45. So
Really?
I mean
I mean-
4:45. I mean,
Why? Because I'm so one answers of yes.
yes, that's how it began. Like
No.
Bethany, tell us about yourself.
No.
I wish we could show Brian walking around with his headphones, watching the screen, just hacking in every once in a while, making comments,
I told
dropping
Brian
little glitter
he could
in
only
there.
ask yes or no questions.
All right, you guys, we are going to sign off because Jess has to go teach. Bethany's got to get Brookie to gymnastics,
Yes.
and I have to go pick up Chloe from rugby. So
So
Rad.
that's our evenings for
that's
you
our
guys.
evenings for you guys.
I'm gonna
That's
go
what
get
we
my hype on.
do.
Riveting info right there.
You
I'm
go
gonna do
get
some,
your
I'm gonna get my fast
hype
cadence
on.
on for you,
Yeah,
Bethany. I'm
get
like,
your
this one's
speed
for,
on.
This is for Bethany.
Yeah,
I'll pour out my
I'm
water
gonna
bottle.
Take home my thing.
All right. So if you guys have any requests for who you'd like to see your next trainer talk with, don't forget we've already recently done Bethany. If you forgot that, I don't know what to tell
I
you.
don't know what to tell you.
Mike,
Brian,
Rebecca,
Brooke.
W. No, we haven't done Brooke.
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
yeah, we did.
We did, like I said, remember when we did
did
Brooke?
Brooke.
Yeah.
That's
Have
what
you done that one?
The other Brooke.
We haven't done Jessa. And guess who's coming next, though?
Just us.
Mimi.
Mimi.
Mimi is coming
Oh,
next.
that's
That will be on February 20.
I think Mimi's gonna drop some
Something.
knowledge on you guys. that you're
Mimi's
not
going to
even
drop
gonna
some
know.
knowledge. Yeah, she is. So February 21st at 11 a.m.
About selling homes or
Pacific time. Hey, I am trying to plug Mimi
what? Oh, my
here.
bad.
February 21st. That is a Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. That would be 2 o'clock in New York.
Somewhere.
And that will be
Oh, stop.
1 o'clock in Chicago, for example. And if you're in Hawaii, why are you watching our vlog? I'm just kidding.
You should be here.
Yeah, you should be surfing. So anyhow, so that's coming up soon. Let us know. We've got lots of other trainers like
Has,
Jess N. Soli,
Jess-
Jessica
yeah.
Solis, Miriam,
Honer.
We've got lots of, as you know, other trainers that would be really fun to
think that's
do a trainer
about
talk with.
Elliot.
So let us know. Yeah, where's she been?
I'm like, really?
So just let us know. Just drop us a line and let us know who you'd like to see your next trainer talk. But we are going to sign off. Have yourselves a great
Thanks
evening.
for
Bye, guys, for
joining
joining us.
Bye.